Assalamu alaikum. This is Shaurab Mujumdar welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus urges to avoid using single-time plastic items to save environment and planet. Second round of talks of National Consensus Commission on Country Reformation continue for 6th day. Then political leaders were involved in Pilkhana massacre, reveals National Independent Investigation Commission on BDR killings. ICT gives 1 week to AY Mushir Zaman to prepare reply of contempt of court against ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Ceasefire between Israel and Iran going very well, says US President Trump, rejecting intelligence reports saying US bombings failure in Iran's nuclear sites. And Bangladesh bags 220 runs for 8 against Sri Lanka on first day of second test in Colombo. Those are the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus urged all to avoid usage of one-time plastic items to save environment and planet. He said this at a program as the chief guest marking the World Environment Day at the Bangladesh-China Friendship Conference Center in the capital today. Professor Yunus inaugurated the Environment Fair 2025 and the National Tree Plantation Campaign and Tree Fair 2025 at the event. The chief advisor said the humans are destroying nature, but they could not realize that the nature also has a destructive mood. Highlighting the adverse impacts of plastic on the planet, he said the plastic is accelerating climate crisis, natural disasters and biodiversity destruction. The chief advisor said the country's water bodies and biodiversity are being destroyed for lack of proper plastic management. About the longevity of plastic in nature, he said everything has a lifespan, but the plastic is such a thing that has no death. Professor Yunus urged the young generation to come forward in addressing the climate crises.
প্লাস্টিক ব্যবস্থাপনা ঠিকঠাক না থাকায় পৃথিবীর জলাশয়গুলো পলিথিন আর প্লাস্টিকে ছেয়ে গেছে। জীববৈচিত্র্য ধ্বংসের মুখে পড়ছে। এই এমন এক জিনিস প্লাস্টিক যার জন্ম আছে মৃত্যু নাই। এই হলো তার বৈশিষ্ট্য। পৃথিবীর সব কিছুর মৃত্যু আছে, তার মৃত্যু নাই। এসব ক্রমাগত বাড়ে। আমি দেশের সকল নাগরিকের প্রতি ওয়ান টাইম প্লাস্টিক পণ্য ব্যবহার বন্ধ করে দেওয়ার জন্য আবেদন করছি। এর প্রাথমিক পদক্ষেপ হিসেবে আমি ইতিমধ্যে সরকারি সকল কার্যালয়কে একটি সুনির্দিষ্ট সময়সীমার মধ্যে ওয়ান টাইম প্লাস্টিকের ব্যবহার বন্ধ করার নির্দেশ দিচ্ছি। তরুণরাই আমাদের নতুন বাংলাদেশ গড়ার স্বপ্ন দেখতে অনুপ্রাণিত করেছে। এই তরুণ প্রজন্মই ইতিহাসের সবচেয়ে শক্তিশালী, সবচেয়ে সৃজনশীল তরুণ প্রজন্ম। আমি দেশের তরুণ সমাজের প্রতি আহ্বান জানাই, জলবায়ু সংকট মোকাবেলায় এবং পরিবেশ দূষণ রোধে তোমরা তোমাদের কার্যকর ভূমিকা অবশ্যই রাখবে। নিজের মধ্যে এমন সংকল্প করতে হবে যে আজ থেকে আমি আমার দৈনন্দিন জীবনে কার্বন নিঃসরণ শূন্যতে নিয়ে আসব। কয়েকটি গুরুত্বপূর্ণ নদীকে দখল দূষণমুক্ত করার কাজ মন্ত্রণালয় শুরু করে যেতে পারবে বলে আশা করি। আমরা আশা করি নতুন প্রজন্ম এই শহরেই দূষণমুক্ত নদী দেখতে পাবে। ঢাকা শহরের পাশেই দেখবে পূর্বাচল বন।
Environment, Forest and Climate Change Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan and Environment Secretary Dr. Farhina Ahmed also addressed the event. At the program, the National Environment Award, the National Wildlife Conservation Award and the National Tree Plantation Award were distributed among the recipients in recognition of their outstanding contributions to protection of environment and conservation of wildlife. Later, Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus inaugurated the Environment Fair 2025 and the National Tree Plantation Campaign and Tree Fair 2025 by planting a sapling at the Bangladesh-China Friendship Conference Center premises. National Consensus Commission Vice Chairman Professor Ali Riaz urged political parties to show flexibility on reform issues for the sake of the country and the nation in a bid to achieve the desired goal. He made the call in his introductory speech while presiding over the sixth day of the second round of talks of the National Consensus Commission in the capital today. The discussion began around 11 a.m. at the Foreign Service Academy. Professor Ali Riaz said progress had been achieved in some reform issues while differences remained on others during the discussion. Leaders from around 30 political parties including the BNP, Jamaat-e-Islami, National Citizen Party, Islami Andolon Bangladesh, Nagorik Oikko, Communist Party of Bangladesh, Amar Bangladesh Party, Revolutionary Workers Party, Gano Adhikar Porishod and Gano Shanghodi Andolon participated in the today's dialogue to present their respective party positions on the proposed reforms. National Consensus Commission members Abdul Muiz Chaudhuri, Bodiul Alam Mujumdar, Safar Raj Hussain and Iftikharuzzman and Special Advisor to the Chief Advisor Monir Haider were present in the meeting. The National Independent Investigation Commission on the BDR killings revealed that the then political leaders were found to be involved in the Pilkhana massacre. The Commission disclosed the information at a press conference in the capital today. Commission's chairman, retired Major General A.L.M. Fazlur Rahman said involvement of political leaders of that time was found in the Pilkhana killings. However, in the interest of the investigation, he could not disclose any name. He alleged that the then investigation committee had shown gross negligence regarding the Pilkhana massacre. Fazlur Rahman also alleged that the media diverted the issue. If military measures had been taken in time, the scale of the killings could have been reduced, he added. About progress of the investigation, the Commission chief said testimony from 158 individuals has already been recorded, while testimony from 50 more is still pending. Fugitive Awami League leaders Mirza Ajam and Jahangir Kabir Nanuk have submitted written testimony in connection with the Pilkhana massacre, he added. The International Crimes Tribunal 1 granted 1 week's time to A.Y. Mashir-Zaman, appointed as amicus curiae, to prepare for the contempt of court case against the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The three-member tribunal headed by Justice Ghulam Murtuza Majumdar gave the order today. The other two members of the tribunal are Justice Muhammad Shafiul Alam Mahmood and Justice Mohitul Haq Enam Chaudhuri. Earlier, State Counsel A.Y. Mashir-Zaman had requested the tribunal for a 1-week preparation time. In the same case, State Defense Counsel Aminul Goni Titu verbally withdrew himself from the case at the tribunal today. In his place, Advocate Amir Hussain was appointed by Tribunal 1. Later, Prosecutor Gaji M.H. Tamim told journalists that the International Crimes Tribunal 1 had fixed the next hearing of the case on 2nd of July. Delegation of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami held a meeting with Chief Election Commissioner A.M.M. Nasiruddin. A three-member delegation led by Jamaat's Assistant Secretary General Hamidur Rahman Ajad took part in the meeting at the Election Commission office today. After the meeting, Hamidur Rahman Ajad briefed journalists. He said the notification issued by the Election Commission, which restored Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami's registration and party symbol in accordance with the Supreme Court's verdict, has given the general public a ray of hope. Hamidur Rahman Ajad added that this proved falsehood and injustice could never be permanently suppressed. Now, international news. Iran's parliament passed a bill to suspend cooperation with United Nations International Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA), which still needs approval from National Security Council. U.S. President Trump said ceasefire between Israel and Iran announced yesterday is going very well, as White House rejected intelligence reports saying U.S. bombings did not destroy Iran's nuclear sites, only set program back by months. The ceasefire between Israel and Iran, announced by U.S. President Donald Trump, appears to be holding despite an Iranian missile attack and an Israeli assault on Tehran after the truce came into effect. Both Israel and Iran have claimed victory in the 12-day war, with Iranians holding celebrations in Tehran and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claiming a triumph that will stand for generations. Earlier, Trump publicly scolded both Israel and Iran for truce violations using a televised expletive and ordered Israel to end its bombing operations and bring its fighter jets home. Meanwhile, White House refutes intelligence reports that said U.S. bombings of Iran's nuclear sites did not completely destroy the facilities and only set the program back by a few months. Israeli forces and drones have killed at least 86 Palestinians since dawn, including 56 near aid distribution centers in the latest attacks on desperate people seeking aid in the besieged Gaza Strip. In Rafah alone, in the south of the enclave, 27 aid seekers were gunned down by the Israeli military on Tuesday. Medical sources reported that at least 25 people were killed in an incident on Salah al-Din Street, south of Wadi Gaza, in central Gaza. More than 140 other people were injured, 62 of them critically. The overall death toll from Israel's war has risen to more than 56,000 killed and 131,848 injuries since October the 7th of 2023.